Hello everyone, Paddles Prime here, and with New York Toy Fair 2020 finally wrapped up, it is time for me to go over the Transformers Earthrise reveals. First up we have WFCE 13 Slitherfang, who is part of the Quintesson Allegiance rather than Autobot or Decepticon, along with two other figures in this line that we know of. Unfortunately, there is not yet an image of his alternate mode, but he does turn into a bridge, same as the other Battle Masters from Earthrise. Next we have WFCE 15 Racetrack Patrol, which includes Decepticon Groundhog and Decepticon Roller Force, and they are Micromasters. Next we have WFCE 16 Astro Squad, and they are Blastmaster and Fuser, and they are, rather than standard Micromasters, as have been essentially the only figures present in the previous two lines, they are Micromaster Combiners, and it appears that they are officially licensed by NASA as well. Next we have WFCE 17 RC, who is probably one of the most divisive figures revealed. She is indeed a very accurate representation of RC from the original Transformers cartoon and other media, though she does have a giant chunk that does literally nothing in robot mode. So despite having a decent robot mode, she has a parts forming alternate mode, and a lot of people, myself included, aren't really sure how to feel about that. Next we have WFCE 18 Airwave, and he is a weaponizer, and there's not really much else to go over really. Next we have WFCE 19 Alicon, who is another one of the Quintesson figures in this line. E20 Smokescreen is up next, and he appears to be a retooling of a War for Cybertron Siege Prow mould, which would make sense, as the original figures of Prow, Smokescreen and Bluestreak all had the same mould. Next we have WFCE 21 Snapdragon, who is a Headmaster using a Titan's Return style Headmaster figure. This continues from War for Cybertron Siege's starting of the two MonsterCon Triple Changer Headmasters with Apeface. Next we have WFCE 22 Quintesson Judge, who is the third Quintesson in the line, although the only one who is an actual Quintesson rather than being a Quintesson Transformer. He transforms into a base, and it appears to include a jail of some description and some form of going to assume energy storage, but I'm not really sure at all what any of it is meant to be. Next we have WFCE 23 Double Dealer, who is indeed compatible with Micromasters, and we'll get to that later. Next we have E24 Skylynx, who is the Commander class for this line, or at least so far that has been revealed, similar to Jetfire from War for Cybertron Siege. And as you can see, he is capable of transforming into both his bird and lynx modes, as well as both his space shuttle and space shuttle launch pad rolly thing. I'm not sure what you are meant to call that thing, but that thing. Next we have the biggest reveal, and probably the flagship reveal, at least that's what it seems to be. Scorponok with Lord Zarak, which is WFCE 25. It is this line's Titan class, and it is Scorponok, designed to scale with Titan's Return Fortress Maximus. His head, in robot mode, becomes Lord Zarak, and then Lord Zarak has an unnamed headmaster, unless it is intended to be Lord Zarak, using the same as the Titan Master style figures from Titan's Return, meaning that it will be compatible with the same line's Snapdragon. Following that, we're back to smaller size classes with deluxes, being WFCE 35 Fast Track, who is intended as a accessory to Scorponok, similar to how War for Cybertron Siege's cog was intended to be an accessory for Titan's Return Fortress Maximus. In Fast Track we have WFCE 37 Runamuck, who is the first of two of the Decepticon battle charges, with Runabout most likely being released in this line. If this mould looks somewhat familiar to you, it is because it is, or at least it appears to be, heavily inspired by the Battle Charger style model for the generic Decepticons in Transformers Devastation, the fighting game. Following right amok, we have WFC 38 Megatron, who looks to be a heavy retooling of War for Cybertron Siege Megatron with a completely different alternate mode. And as you can see, his sword is a massive piece of vehicle kibble, becoming the entire front, essentially, of his tank mode, which is kind of disgusting, really. It looks terrible, honestly. And following Megatron, we have the final numbered reveal, WFC E39 Double Crosser, who is very obviously a Wreck and Ruin pre-tool. Unless, of course, Wreck and Ruin don't get retooled from that, which would be a massive waste of a mold, because it looks just like Wreck and Ruin. Anyway, he is a Battle Master, so he transforms into a shield or ramp type thing, and he comes with a blast effect. Following that, we have two unnumbered deluxes, being Sunstreak, who is a completely unique mold to his brother Sideswipe from the previous line, rather than just being a heavy retooling, and Trailbreaker, who is a retooling of War for Cybertron Earthrise Hoist. And finally, we have Generation Select's Micromaster Spy Patrol Elite Command Unit, with Rumble, which is blue, so it could also be Frenzy, Wing Thing, Autobot Knock to go with Double Dealer, and Decepticon Scar also to go with Double Dealer. And as was previously stated, Double Dealer is indeed capable of having these two figures be inside him, but only one at a time. Anyway, I've been Paddles Prime, thank you for watching, and comment down below which of these figures you are most excited for.